Okay, so we are going to be drawing the isometric view of two different items. We're going to draw the isometric view of this object. It's going to look similar to this one right here. We are also going to draw the isometric view of this item. It's going to look very similar to this right here. Now we've already drawn the orthographic projection or the multi-view, right? The front, top, and right side view of both of these items. So now we're going to create the isometric view, the pictorial view of what this thing looks like. We're going to use the same measurements. So this thing, the first one is 2.12 inches squared. Vertically 2.12, the width 2.12, and the length, which would be the length here, this length is 3.75. So it also says that these slots here are 0.38 inches deep. That's how far they dig into the item. And they're 0.5 wide, meaning up and down, they're 0.5 wide. So we can take that information and we can draw the isometric view. So let me convert over to AutoCAD here. And we're going to draw this thing. So I am going to get a line command. Oh, first of all, before we even start, we have to set up the isometric settings on this. So I'm going to go down here to my snap and grid. I'm going snap settings. So you click on the little pull down or pop-up menu, snap settings. And I am going to turn on isometric snap. So turn isometric snap on. Okay. And I am going to start here by drawing from my isometric axis, is right down at the bottom of the page. I'm going to draw, first of all, I'm going to make sure that, whoa.
So they find a woodshop feature?
Let me pause real quick. I don't even know how to pause the, how do I pause a, okay, so let me go back to where I was at here. I am going to turn on ortho to make sure that my 30 degrees are locked in. And I'm going to recheck the size of my object. 3.75 long, 2.12 wide and tall. So I'm going 3.75 this direction. I'm going to go 2.12 inches this direction. And I'm going 2.12 inches vertical, but I have to hit the F5 function key in order to get vertical. So 2.12, enter. I'm going to go this direction, 2.12, enter, and back down, 2.12. I'm also going to go F5, and I'm going to go 3.75 this way, and 3.75 this way, F5 over to here, and F5 down to here. So here's the brick that I'm dealing with. Now I got to cut the slots out of this side and out of this side. So it doesn't tell us how far to come up from the bottom. It just tells us that the slot, the depth of the slot is 0.38 and the width of the slot is 0.5. So I'm just going to draw a reference line just so I know where the middle is. Middle is here. And I know I've got to come half of a half, because the whole width of the slot is a half, or 0.5. So I'm going to draw a little reference from here. I'm going to go up 0.25, enter. I'm going to go in 0.38, enter. Back down 0.5, enter. And back this way, 0.38, enter. So there's that little slot here. And I'm going to take these two corners, F5, 3.75, enter. And from here, 3.75, enter. And that's what that looks like. Let me trim this up a little bit. Trim. Oops. Trim this. That's what this looks like. This inner slot, I'm going to draw the inside of this as well. This goes 3.75, enter. F5, and I should be able to take it right to here. There's a little piece that I can see right here. F5, I'm just going to draw it straight up and then trim. Good. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. This side is not as detailed because I can only see a little bit of it. So I'm going to do the same thing though. I'm going to start here, go up 0.25, enter. This way 0.38, enter. Down 0.5, enter. And back 0.38, enter. Enter again. Let me trim. Here's this middle piece. The last thing I need to do is draw this corner, F5, back this direction, and trim. So there is that first figure. So I'm going to highlight all of this and just kind of slide it over. Okay. Now I'm going to draw the second figure. That second figure is this one here. So it says that this one is 2 inches square, meaning the height is 2 inches, the width is 2 inches, and the length is 3.5. So the length is 3.5 this way. It says that the thickness of the material is 0.5. So we got 0.5 here all the way around. And the window, as it says, is a 1 inch square window, and it's centered on the top upper portion of this wall right here. So let's draw this. 2 inches by 3.5. I'm just gonna maybe smart to start over here and then just move it back on so that we don't get in the way. So I'm gonna go a line from here. I'm going 3.5. I'm gonna go back to my isometric axis, my starting point, up 2, and 5. I'm going this way, 2. All right, so there's my isometric axis. I'm going to go up 2 and back over this way. F5, I'm going 3.5 this way and back down 2. From here, I'm going 3.5, F5. So it looks very similar to the starting of this one, just a little bit different in the measurements. So I'm going to go from this top corner now over 0.5. And I'm going to go from this top corner down this way, 0.5. I know you can't see what I just did, so let me delete out this line just so you can see what I did. So I went in 0.5 and 0.5. I'm going to take these two pieces this way 2 inches. And this way 2 inches. And from here, F5, I'm going to go down 1.5. From here, I'm going to go down 1.5. F5, and then I'm going to connect them. I'm going to get rid of this piece. I don't need this top piece anymore. And I am going to connect to show this wall. So I'm going to go 2 inches down, F5, and over here. Whoa. Undo, that was not correct. This is not 2 inches down. This is 1.5 inches down. And over to here. That's better. And then this just goes this direction until it disappears. And I trim the left. Good. Now I just have a 1 inch by 1 inch window to put here and a 1 inch by 1 inch window to put here. So I've only got 1.5 here. If I'm going to center a 1 inch window in a 1.5 wall, that means I'm going to have 0.25 above and 0.25 below. It's a 1 inch window sideways also, but I've got 2 inches here. So that means I've got a 1/2 inch spacing on either side. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go from this corner. I'm going to go to the right, 0.5, enter. 5, then I'm going to go vertical, 0.25, enter. So that line right there is going to be the bottom left corner of my window. Now my window is a 1 inch by 1 inch window. So I'm going to go 1 inch this way, 1 inch up, 1 inch back this way, and then 1 inch down. And then I'm going to get rid of the original reference lines. Now I need to show the inside of this window. So I'm going to go F5, and the thickness of this right here is 0.5. So I'm going to go from here in this way, 0.5, enter, and then straight up until it disappears. F5, straight this way till it disappears, and then trim. All right, there's one window. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to go from this corner. I'm going to go over 0.5, enter. I'm going to go down 0.25, enter. That's going to be the corner of my window. So now it's a 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch window. Delete out my little reference lines. And I'll add in the same thing that I did here. I'll add it in here too. So you can either draw it or you can go copy these 3 lines, enter, grab it at this corner and drop it on this corner. I know that was fast, but I think we did it. Highlight the whole thing, grab one of the lines. Don't grab the handle, but grab a line and then drop it off inside here. Here's our 2 items, and this would be isometric 1, or ISO 1 is the name of this this drawing. Hopefully that's helpful.